Okay, call the meeting, the Board of Estimate, the Police Commission, I'm sorry, to order. Myself, Commissioners Vignola, Sullivan, and Rodriguez are here, along with Chief Iwanchu. And Eileen, you said we have one person online? Okay, so Chief, you want to open?
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. This evening's Police Commission meeting, in addition to our normal business, we will be interviewing people for promotional opportunities. Going through the agenda, communications, I have none that were reported to me, unless the Commission has any they would like to discuss.
Oh.
Looking at old business, something that's still pending from our previous meeting, the tattoo policy. At the last meeting, we did discuss some changes. We did suspend a portion of the policy with the discussion that I would research and do some proposals. I did email some proposals to the Commission on September 17th. Not sure if the Commission's had enough time to review them, or if they'd like to discuss that at this time, or to table it to another time.
Anyone want to make a motion or wait for the next meeting?
What was the changes?
So in the last meeting, we suspended the portion that indicated that a person could not be hired if they had exposed tattoos. That was suspended. I've submitted additional policy changes, proposed policy changes for the Commission to review to see which direction they would like to go.
They can put the sock on and everything?
That is one of the options, yes.
There was a limit on the size of the tattoo also, if I
It would
remember.
limit on the size, it would limit, it would still give discretion to myself to review the tattoos, to make sure that nothing is obviously inappropriate. There's still nothing on the hands, the face, the ears, neck, anything to that extent, except for on the hands. There's limitations for a wedding band that is actually governed to a specific size. With the sleeve, neutral colors, no insignia on them, so that way we don't have a sleeve that's got some crazy designs or anything to kind of represent or reflect a tattoo.
If I recall, Chief, you have the final word is, you have the discretion to approve or disapprove anything.
In the policies that I submitted to the Commission for review, yes, that's what it says, but that's always open to, changes.
No, I agree with it, and then someone, if they want to appeal it, then of course they can, I guess, there is no appeal to your decision, I would think.
No.
Right.
Now, we were not limiting to one of your ideas, right? It was all of them, like the bandage and all that. We didn't have to decide on one particular idea over all of them?
They were options, and we could discuss if the Commission wants options or if they only want one way to cover them. That would be up to you as a body. I did the research to present options and best practices from what I could find, and collaborating that together, these are the two proposed policies that I came up with. At the end of the day, they're both very similar in what they say and how we govern, but one is a little bit more intricate and detailed, gives definitions of what would be considered excessive tattoos or derogatory tattoos to that effect, where the other one's more streamlined and kind of leaves that to the discretion of myself or the police chief at that time.
So I'll make a motion to accept it.
Which one? There's two options.
The option that,
Gives discretion to the chief.
yeah,
They both do.
okay.
So option A is a more streamlined option. Option B is a more in-depth option that has definitions. Do you want to take a look?
That was with the
You're good with
Band-Aids.
B?
Yeah.
Yes.
Then I'll make a motion to accept option B.
I'll second.
All in favor of accepting option B?
Aye.
Any
Aye.
opposed? I will put that into our policy draft, and I will forward the final copy to the Commission for review before it goes into effect within the police department. Moving forward into new business, we did not have an August Police Commission meeting. Our last meeting was July. I did forward the commission the minutes from the July meeting for their review. If there's discussion on any of the minutes from the July meeting. If nothing, if we could have a motion to accept or discussion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So carried. August monthly statistics. I did not bring the July ones. We did review the June ones in July. I did bring August, which also has the July embedded into it. I'll just go over a couple specifics. We had 3,036 calls for service in the month of August, which was a 10% decrease in comparison to July. Part 1 crimes year-to-date as of the end of August were decreased by 27%. And between July and August, there's actually no change in the Part 1 crimes. Both months, we had 38 reported Part 1 crimes. Part 2 crimes year-to-date, there's a 10% decrease overall. However, from July into August, there's a 12% increase. Arrest year-to-date was a 3% decrease thus far. The month of August had 180 arrests, which was a 68% increase over the month of July, which showed 107. Traffic summons, there's a 45% increase year-to-date. The month of August, there were 314 traffic summons issued, which was a 27% decrease over the previous month, whereas in July, we had 429 traffic summons issued. Overall, for the month, out of those 180 arrests for the month of August, 6 of them had use of forces attached to them, which equates to 3.5% of our total arrests for the month. Would the commission like to discuss in detail any of the statistics from the crime report? Moving forward into staffing. As the commission is aware, Lieutenant Graziano retired from the police department as of September 18th was his last official day. We hosted a luncheon and walkout ceremony for him on September 15th. Lieutenant Graziano leaves the department after 22 years of dedicated service. He was a great asset. As we all know, his role was a bureau commander of services. Just these few days that he's been gone, I already greatly miss him and his abilities. He has moved on to take a position with the Hudson Valley Crime Analysis Center in Goshen as the director, so I'm very happy for him as he enters into that profession. And he's still in the law enforcement field, so he's actually an asset to us, provides us additional access to all types of technology. So as much as we lost him here, we've also gained some valuable resources in the Crime Analysis Center. With his retirement, the department currently has 9 vacancies. We have currently have 62 sworn personnel, budgeted for 71. Out of those vacancies, 5 of them are sergeant's positions and 3 are lieutenant positions. Police officers that were previously hired in the month of July, Officer Zoiga, I know I mispronounce that all the time, and Yuvin, they are still in the police academy, progressing very well, doing good. I spoke with the director. He's very happy with their progress, both dedicated, motivated. Our previous 3 officers that graduated the police academy earlier this spring or summer, Officer Cuellas, Langford, and Barnes, they're progressing through their field training very satisfactorily. They're actually moving into the phase 3 of the 4-phase program. Seem to be doing very well and getting very good feedback on them.
Chief, are they included in the 62?
Yes, they are. So are the ones in the police academy.
Will they be cut loose by January?
We're looking at November-ish, December, if everything goes good. If they still continue to progress as they are.
Good.
Which would be very good. We're also conducting 5 backgrounds right now on all certified police officers from other departments, all outside of the window of repayment. So hopefully, we will have them concluded and potentially present them to the commission in either the October or November meeting for potential hires. Civil Service will be hosting another physical agility exam this Saturday, September 25th. This will be the non-bilingual exam. This will be for the scores of 85. Initially, there's 100 candidates in that group. We had about 18, I believe, that responded that have already taken the physical agility. They've been presented with background packets, which we've received and started reviewing them. That's where those 5 candidates come from. And we will be expecting between 25 and 50 candidates this Saturday for the physical agility. Also on October 16th will be the civil service exam for the promotional opportunity for the lieutenant's position. Currently, and actually the only people that have signed up are 5 of our current sergeants. That is Sergeant Welch, Sergeant Valentin, Sergeant Hargett, Sergeant Cunningham, and Sergeant McHatchie. So they'll be taking that exam on October 16th. Also, the mayor had asked for some additional information in regards to the sick time report that's included in the monthly report. I did present all the commissioners with a quick graph to break down some of that sick time usage. I don't know if anybody had the opportunity to review it, something we could review now or at a later time, but just a couple points of interest, like some of the numbers that were high, some of the officers that showed, 120, 180, 200. If you look through the graph, you'll see that some of them recently had children, and under the FMLA laws, they're entitled to take time off for the birth of their child. We have one that has a significant amount of sick time usage due to some surgeries and medical procedures. So I broke it down to categories that are being utilized for sick purposes. And once you take out those couple categories of the childbirths and the surgeries, it greatly reduces the actual sick time numbers. So if the commission would like me to dig deeper into this or like further explanation, I can do such.
No, that's satisfactory to me, Chief. Now, when they do the FMLA, that doesn't get charged their sick time, is it?
So the city's policy on FMLA is they have to use their own time first.
First, okay.
Before they could go on paid.
Okay.
And we are very fortunate that most everybody in the department
Had accrued time?
has sufficient time to cover that FMLA time.
Good, okay.
Moving into training, I'd just like to give the commission a quick overview of some of the trainings that the officers have attended since the last time we met. Just real quick, FBI crime scene photography, Detective Rosen attended. The physical fitness instructor course, Detective Artola attended. Fundamentals of crisis intervention skills as an instructor, Officer Patron taught that at the police academy. Juvenile conference and SRO training, Officers Galley, Schoenlieber, Ribeiro, Ryer, and Shalaba attended that. Narcotics and dangerous drugs, instructor at the police academy, Detective Rosen instructed. Cultural diversity, bias-related incidents, sexual harassment, instructor at the police academy was Lieutenant Tholen. Defensive tactics instructor at the police academy, Detective DeYoung, Officer Patron. Firearms instructor at the police academy, Officer Baudet. Field training officer instructor for a in-service course, Sergeant Cunningham. Law enforcement officers killed and assaulted. Officer safety awareness was attended by Detective DeYoung, Officer Patron. Police response to mental health calls was attended by myself, Lieutenant Tholen, Sergeant Cologne, Sergeant Jennings, Lieutenant Cologne, Sergeant Jennings, Sergeant Welch, Officer Beebe, Officer Barnes, Sergeant McCatchie, Officer Gallagher, Officer Baudet, Officer Napolitano. Evidence room management was attended by Officer Napolitano. Moral injury webinar was attended by Officer Coletti. FBI surveillance photography course attended by Detective Artola. Some of the programs that I've discussed with the commission have been approved by not just the commission but the council. One that we have up and running now is QHIT. It's something I spoke about at previous meetings. It's a survey software that is linked to our call intake center. When someone calls or requests service, within a time frame thereafter, it sends a short 3-question survey to the person to get some feedback to know how we are being viewed by the community and our responses and handling of situations. So that went live on September 7th. We are receiving feedback. I perused through it. It's positive. Right now, everything's coming through as positive. We still need to fine tune it and tweak it a little bit because we are seeing that a majority of the questions are being linked to specific to the dispatcher, where we need to get some of those questions also linked to the responding officers. So that's something we just have to work out with the vendor and the programming. COVID, since our last meeting, I've had one employee that's been out due to COVID, and it's not because the employee has it. He is being quarantined due to his son testing positive. Very minimal to no symptoms, but out of precaution, the Department of Health has quarantined him. Some of our upcoming events. This Saturday, September 25th, in John Degnan Park, we will be hosting a community movie and barbecue. The movie will be Moana. Hopefully some of you may join us that evening. October 6th is National Coffee with a Cop Day. We plan on setting up in at least 2 to 3 locations throughout the city to try to engage as much of the city as possible. Some of the feedback that we have received is that we have to also not forget to focus into the Hispanic community, groceries or bodegas or whatnot. So that is one of our plans to make sure that we do incorporate that into our plans this year. October 1st, we have collaborated with the Middletown School, the high school specifically, to do a barbecue and a send-off for the football team for the Bell game. That'll be hosted at the high school. Some grant funding that has recently come through. Orange County Department of Mental Health was recently awarded a $1 million grant through Assemblywoman Gunther's office to expand their mobile response team to mental health calls. And the reason I bring that up is because the parameters of that grant are specific to our area, which will be great. From what I understand from the Commissioner of Mental Health is there will be another response team in our area, plus overnight and some additional people on the 311 call center. Additionally, we were just approved for a $15,000 grant through the Orange County Youth Bureau for youth engagement. For this, we've partnered with the Recreation and Parks Department as well as the school district. We've already conducted 2 outreach programs. We have 2 additional ones scheduled, and that has to be concluded by the end of the year. So far, really good feedback from that, great interaction between the officers and the youth. Additionally, we were just awarded a $90,000 grant from the New York State. This is a unique grant. It's split between 4 local community partners. Middletown Police will have $20,000 of that money. My Brother's Keeper program will have $25,000. The YMCA of Middletown will have $20,000, and It Matters 24/7 has received $25,000. These are our collaborative partners with a lot of our outreach. We will be meeting with the program director on Monday, this coming Monday, the 27th, to discuss the parameters of that grant. Any questions on any of the events fundings? Some case review that I would like to discuss with the commission. Again, we haven't met since July, so just 3 incidents. I know some of it has been discussed in council meetings, some of you individually. We did have a shooting on July 30th on Commonwealth Avenue. The subject in that was arrested. No one was injured. There's a daytime shooting. His intended target was not shot. We were able to quickly apprehend him, recover the weapon, and conclude that case. On July 31st, Dolson Avenue, this was in the wee hours of the morning. 2 subjects leaving the Jay-Z's bar that is located on the Walk Hill side of that parking lot. As they were approaching Dolson Avenue, they were shot by a subject in a vehicle. Both subjects in the victim's vehicle were shot, non-life-threatening injuries. Unfortunately, they're not being very cooperative with us, so we're doing everything we can, use some technology to try to track down some leads there. Thirdly, Linden Avenue on, this was on August 2nd. August 2nd, we had a shooting there as well. Again, nobody was injured. Through our investigative means, we were able to make 4 arrests in that incident. And we have at least 1 more arrest to come from that, a person that we've identified. We just have to put a few more things together to arrest that person and potentially a additional person. So out of that, we may end up with 6 arrests. We'll definitely end up with 5. And through investigations, we did determine that these people were related to our incident that occurred on July 21st here on Depot Street, the shooting there. Some points of interest in that is our suspects are our defendants, 14, 15, and 17 years old. So that is alarming, but they have been picked up and charged. Another incident, it was the Skatepark Vandalism that occurred. Officer Baudet did an amazing job, or Berman did an amazing job actually tracking that person down. We have video, there's 3 subjects coming about 2 o'clock in the morning, do a tremendous amount of graffiti to the park, about $15,000, $16,000 from the cost estimates. So he was able to locate that person, resides in Blooming Grove, did a great job tracking him down, getting him to come in, charging him with felony criminal mischief, amongst some other things such as graffiti and being in the park after hours. He is still on the hunt for the 2 other subjects in that. So that'll be something he'll continue to work on.
When's the park going to be opened up again?
The company that's been hired to do the repairs, I believe, starts this Friday, Mayor, am I correct? Or next week?
Scheduled to start tomorrow, but I don't know with the weather.
The weather, it might be extended a little bit. One additional case that I would like to bring to the commission's attention, and I think a more detailed conversation can occur or should occur in executive session if the commission agrees to such, is today, and if anybody has seen it, hit social media already, we had an incident at our Twin Towers Middle School between one of our SROs and a student at the school. We've been involved right from the start with it. The school's been involved. We made some immediate changes to the position. We've met with the involved parties, including the parents. But to get into the specific details, unless the commission wants to do it now, is it okay to bring that up further in executive
I
session?
think it'd be an executive session matter.
But they can hear us.
Who?
The people that are in there,
Who's in there?
all the candidates.
They're in that room?
Yeah, I could hear you guys outside.
All right, when we go into executive session, then we'll...
We're not talking about them. When I go out to get the candidates, I'll have them go downstairs. Would the commission like to review and discuss any of the internal investigations or policies that were sent to them to send back in June? Or do you want to wait until a night that we don't have interviews? That's up to you. That's up to you. There's nothing pressing, there's nothing outstanding there, for time. And we'll table them until next meeting.
Yeah, let's do that. Motion to table.
All in favor?
Aye.
So the candidates are here, Chief, in the other room? Is that what you said, Miguel?
Yeah, they're over there.
So you want to address the executive session thing after the interviews?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, so you're done with your report, Chief?
Let me just go through real quick, everything. Yes, does the commission have anything else they would like to discuss before we move forward? Anybody? Eileen, is there anyone online that has any questions or would like to discuss or address the commission?
No questions were sent at this time.
With that being said, can I have a motion to move into executive session to discuss personnel matters and promotional interviews?
Motion.
Second? All in favor?
Aye.
Commission is moving into executive session as of 5:01 PM.
Please be advised, this ends the public portion of our meeting. Thank you for attending.